You're watching The Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hi guys, welcome to Space Cadettes. I am Bean. I am joined by Jena. Oh, I got it wrong this time.
You actually had it right the first time.
You had it right.
I did?
At the end, like you went like this and then no.
My screen's mirrored. It looked wrong to me. It's okay. We can't go into it. It's too complicated.
You just like point at me. It's like that.
Okay. Anyway, I'm being joined by Jena and Alfie. We're Space Cadets. We all used to work for the same comic book company or comic book store. I'm tired this week. Sorry. Although very temporarily, we will all be working together again for a very few days when I return.
Like a whole weekend.
Yeah.
Well, for the first time for me, because I definitely have not. I've never worked with you.
Yes, it's awful. I just come in. I just take. I was like a big bag of Lay's potato chips, and I put my fish in the microwave. I put a big thing of salmon in the microwave, and I set it to 8 minutes.
Well,
And
wait,
it doesn't share.
It's just regular Lay's. Just regular. But I eat them like this. And I just
and then touch all the comics.
All the comics.
Yes. Causing me stress just to think about it.
I know. It's like, oh my gosh.
I don't use a microwave, so you can put as much fish as you want in there. That's fine with me.
That's like a thing. Is that not like a widely said thing? I've heard that a lot of like, don't microwave fish.
It makes an office smell so bad. Like, so when I worked at the law firm, we had this one lady that every single Friday, she would bring in like a tuna casserole that she made. And then she would microwave it. And the rest of the office, and she would burn it too. So the rest of the office would smell like burnt fish until like Wednesday or Thursday. And then it would start all over every Friday. It got to the point where one of my coworkers started accidentally clearing out the refrigerator on like Friday morning, like Friday at like 11, once everybody's there, like an hour before lunch. And then just like one of the bosses was like, yeah, no, we're ordering pizza for everybody.
Yeah,
so we had casual pizza Fridays at a law firm.
If you're gonna microwave fish, do it at home.
Yeah.
But also, like, I have like reheated fish and stuff before, and my mom's allergic to it and doesn't really want the smell in the house. You microwave it, not too long, just enough to warm it back up like a normal human. And then you can either clean it out real quick or just like close it, turn the microwave on for like 2 minutes, and it helps dissipate the smell.
What I would do is I'd put a cup of water in there and microwave it after she would use it, and it would help a little bit, but it just like
lemon water.
Yeah,
that's good.
So tips if you're going to be that guy in the office: lemon water,
lemon water,
or just don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
People got allergies, man. Stop microwaving fish at the office.
Or how about just don't be that guy. Like, oh man, I really want to microwave this tilapia I made. Yeah, don't. Just don't.
Or anything with an extremely pungent smell, because anything can just travel in an office. So just
I made that mistake once at the store.
Oh,
would you microwave?
Gumbo.
Well, gumbo smells good though.
Apparently not to everybody.
Oh, that's fair, I guess.
There was one person that was like, I can't eat that, so stop microwaving it here at the store. And I was like, I made enough for everybody but you because you're allergic to the one thing in here. So, oops, like, I don't know, like, you want some rice? I made a side of rice.
Well, that's a different thing. That's like I can't eat that, so stop it. Which I understand, but also, I mean,
I was like, I made some for everybody in the store.
But
and she got mad.
But were you microwaving it every Tuesday, like a tuna casserole?
No.
Or not Tuesday, every Friday. My bad.
No. Oh my God, no. That's terrible. So office etiquette. Just bring a sandwich to work. Or have like a hot thermos of something. Or I saw this one person. Yeah. I saw this one person. They have like it looks like a tiny crock pot. It's like a tiny electric cooker.
Ooh, I have one that's a little Batman one.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like a single serving
that
size.
in your own office or in your own cubicle. Yeah, do that.
nice.
If there's a communal microwave, use it for water or tea or coffee.
Did you know in France it's illegal to eat lunch at your desk?
Why?
Where do you eat lunch?
You're supposed to leave. You get like 2 hours for lunch. You're supposed to get up from your desk and leave.
Oh,
Go away from the office and like go have like lunch at a restaurant with your coworkers.
Yeah, it's the same in Italy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but like I think in France there are actually technically labor laws that are like, no, you have to leave the building.
You are not allowed to live here and eat here. Go away.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I like, it was one of those things where I got in a deep dive because I got curious about it because I'm like a chronic like eating while I work person. Like no matter what job I've ever had, I always just eat as I work so I don't have to clock out for as long, you know. And so it's like, but it turned out that it was like one of those old laws from like back in like the 1700s or whatever, like when like factories and like urbanization first started, it was like a danger to have that many people inside working on the machinery for that long because the machinery would like explode and like break down. So they started making it where everyone had to like leave for lunch. They're like, no, you got to shut everything down.
Let it cool off.
Yeah. But in 2023, office workers still get 2 hours for lunch because of it.
They should be.
Yeah. Segue. Renfield trailer.
Well, I mean, Renfield is about basically a worker who is mistreated.
Yes.
Yeah. It is probably going to really focus on labor laws.
I think it will.
I hope it does. Now that's what I want. I want a whole vampire familiar movie about labor laws.
Well, you've got it in Renfield. I mean, he's treating it like it's a toxic boss.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that's what it is.
I love it. I love the idea of Dracula as narcissist.
And I love that it's Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I feel like...
Did you guys catch it from the beginning that it was his voice?
Well, I already knew. I had heard like forever ago that Nicolas Cage, that's what I knew about this, is that Nicolas Cage was being Dracula. Yeah. And I think there were some pictures of him dressed as Dracula, like in the full, that had been kind of almost leaked. And then everyone was like, what? What is this?
Yeah, I'd heard about it, and then I'd seen the pictures, and I was like, dude, I'm pretty certain that those are just his clothes. Well, Nicolas Cage is a little weirdo, and I think we all know. I mean, he's got 2 pet crows, all right?
Oh, does he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And the reason that he said that his newest wife was like the one, like where they really clicked, is because she had pet sugar gliders, and he loves exotic pets.
Yeah, those things are so cute.
They're really cute. But yeah, I mean, he's a little weirdo, and when he was a kid, he thought that he was an alien.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true fact. He's got like a pyramid crypt in Louisiana, ready for him. I know too much about Nic Cage. That's also a weird fact about Nic Cage.
I love that. I do wish you had prepared the PowerPoint, honestly. We could be going by
for a PowerPoint episode?
Yeah.
Dude.
They're poisonous.
What, sugar gliders?
Yeah. Well, they're not poisonous. They're venomous.
Venomous, yes.
Thank you. What?
Yeah.
Why, though? Like...
For fun.
I don't...
Because they're little weirdos.
They're from Australia. That's why.
Oh, that makes perfect sense, actually.
They're too cute to have survived in Australia, so they produce poison?
Yes.
Oh my god.
They're like tiny. They're so small.
They're really tiny.
It makes sense. They would have to like poison anything. Yeah.
What's funny is when I worked at the mall, there was this one couple that would come in like once a month with their two like in there. And I'm like, aren't those poisonous? That's just, hold on. Why is there a poisonous animal in my store? What is happening? Do those things jump at people? Like, yeah, and so I was just like, are they poisonous? I had to look it up. Like, yeah, they are. They got that.
I think death by sugar glider, number one, that needs to happen in a comic. Number two, if you're gonna go out, like, I don't know. The only one I was ever around was like Terrified.
Oh,
like but I think he was okay though.
Oh, so I want to revisit something that Alfie has known about for years, and I'm pretty sure Bean learned about it from me last year. Mm-hmm. That if you're going to die by something, don't die this way. Obviously, don't die by sugar glider, because apparently that's very slow and feels like it burns. Apparently, it leaves a burning sensation.
Have people died from sugar gliders before?
I don't know if they've died, but like, apparently, it feels like you're being burned. Cool. So they're poison. They're poison over here. Makes it burny. Owies. Ah, God.
What's happening?
Oh my God. Okay.
So many animal facts today.
Do you want to know an animal fact internet? Do you want to know?
I knew I shouldn't have, but I did anyway.
We talked about this for like 10 minutes on What's in the Box earlier, because like I'm 8 feet wide. There is a shark out in the ocean that is 8 feet wide plus flipper fins. So it's 8 feet wide, and then I'm all 8 feet wide. Look at my little fin flippers. Do 8 feet wide. I am 5'2" on a good day, and I can stand up. Like, I could lay down, and there would still be room for another half of me. And they lost it.
Basket shark?
The great white shark. Her name is Blue. Oh my God. I think is that her name? I think it was Blue.
And she lives in the big blue ocean.
Oh, Alfie.
Like Bear in the Big Blue House. That's what I was referencing.
Oh, okay. But anyways, so they put a tracker on her, right? Because they wanted to be like, oh, where does she go? How does she? Because she goes from Hawaii to Australia, and they're like, we want to know how she does it. They lost her. She showed up a year later in Australia, and they were like, oh, look, it's Blue.
Well, I mean, I imagine that if James Cameron ever wants to make a movie about her, then he'll find her.
Well, they did find her. She showed back up in Australia. She's like, "Oh, hey, bros, hang loose."
Well, have they lost her again since, or is she back?
No, they lost her again, and then she showed back up in Hawaii.
Okay, it sounds like they didn't lose her. She was just swimming, and the ocean is pretty big.
Yeah.
They don't know because they got her in Hawaii and they put a tracker on her fin to figure out where, like, how she gets to Australia. How does she swim there? What track does she take? Does she get pregnant? Does she give birth? Does she have children? They don't know because she disappeared. Something took off her tracker. And then she just showed back up. Like, oh, hey, look, there she is. And you're just like, stuff summer, mate.
She's a spy.
That's very possible.
She's so old too that she's not like, okay, so no shark is afraid of humans, I think. But like she's
they bite us because they're more afraid of us than we are of them.
They bite us because we look like the food they want to eat, but we're not the food they want to eat. Anywho, like 8 feet wide. Imagine, she just doesn't even chew you, doesn't even bite you. She just swallows you whole, and then you're being digested alive.
You're probably not alive by that point, honestly. I get a strange feeling. You're probably not alive.
Good point. But like, that is
This isn't Pinocchio. Not gonna be alive anymore.
I don't know. I feel like if you know Pinocchio was ever based off any whale or shark or anything, it was blue.
Sharks famously known for not chewing their food.
This one doesn't. Just they literally caught her on camera because there was a lady swimming next to her, all like, "Oh, I'm a lady, and look at this 20-foot shark next to me. Look, it's a giant 20-foot shark next to me." And it just opens its mouth and swallowed like a whole penguin.
It swallowed a penguin?
It might have been a seal. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Or Australia, is that where it swallowed the penguin?
There are penguins in Australia.
I'm not saying that there aren't, but I mean, out of all the animals, I mean, I don't go to Australia for its koalas, or its drop bears, or its kangaroos. I go for the penguins. The wild ones that are just hanging out.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm like crying a little bit right now because I don't know what this story is.
It's a true real life story.
Yep.
There's a giant 20-foot long shark that's 8 feet wide who swallowed either a seal or a penguin whole.
The whole thing is that Jenna has been talking about this forever, and I forgot what triggered it. But then we were talking about Big Bird on What's in the Box. Yes. And I was like, oh, Big Bird is 8 feet tall. And she's like, 8 feet. And it brought it all back.
I've been talking about this for like 2 hours.
No, longer than that. At least minimum 2 years.
Oh, no. Close to 10 years.
Oh, I know. That's why I said minimum.
Oh, yeah. It's called, her name is Deep Blue. Thank you, Mr. Producer, for reminding us. Definitely look her up, anybody out there. I have a small obsession with her. I don't know if it's a good obsession or a bad obsession. You tell me.
She was deep. She was blue. She was something. Like the band.
Yeah, so none of us want to die by sugar glider or shark.
If I had to pick one.
I think I would pick shark. It'd be a lot faster.
Yeah.
Would it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would it?
Yeah.
You'd probably die from shock, honestly.
Yeah.
Shock, blood loss, and drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Your classic 3.
Classic.
When dealing with the ocean animals, that's classic 3. You're at first shocked by the 8 feet, and then you're like, oh,
What is it?
and then everything else is done.
Great.
Man, the shark in Afterburn didn't even have that big of a wingspan.
Okay, how did we get here?
We were talking about Renfield.
We were. Oh, because of Nicolas Cage, sugar gliders, animal facts, 8 feet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Got it. Okay, we're back. We're back. So
Yeah, I was like looking up about Renfield because I was trying to remember the name of the guy who's actually playing Renfield. There's 2 Nicholases. Yeah, Nicholas Holt.
Oh my god.
And I was like, because I was talking to my mom earlier, and I had seen the notification. We were joking because we were joking about like jury duty, and like how that I was like, yeah, I don't, they're always looking for people who don't keep up with the news. Oh, here's my important news. My phone is telling me is that the Renfield trailer just dropped. This is the news I've got for the day. But and like I was trying to explain to her who Nicholas Holt was. I was trying to find like I went through his like IMDb to try and like be like, oh yeah, you've seen him and stuff.
Skins.
This dude, he's like sorry, what?
Beast from X-Men.
Oh yeah.
And he was in Warm Bodies. That's like the main other thing that he's been like a lead in.
No.
Wasn't Tolkien.
Skins.
Yeah, and Skins. I said Skins too. Yeah. But
That's his big thing.
But that's something that I doubt that someone like, I don't know, our parents would have seen.
Good call.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, hey, Mom,
Yeah.
watch this cool Brit show. You like British TV. You'll love this.
Oh, no.
My favorite is Cassie and the other dude that ended up in Game of Thrones. I can't remember his character's name in that show.
But yeah, no, Nicholas Holt has just been in like a lot of cool sci-fi and stuff and horror. And I was just like, heck yeah. It reminds me of like how like Zoe Saldana has like done like a bunch of like sci-fi for a while. And I don't know, I'm just glad like there's like those really good actors who are just like, I'm not gonna try and go do like conventional like I'm gonna win an Oscar things, but they're just chugging away making really, really good like horror and sci-fi in tons of makeup and weird stuff. It's good. I'm excited for the movie.
I am too. And then just Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage. Didn't he just do a movie where he played himself or like earlier last year?
The Unbelievable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes, thank you.
Watch that. I didn't see it.
Pedro Pascal as well as the lead. It's super good. I highly recommend it. I haven't saw it in theaters. I don't think that was a waste of money. I was so happy I did. If I see it in the store, I am buying a physical copy.
Nice.
I love that movie. It's awesome. And honestly, with the people that are just like you'd mentioned people chugging away just doing like good movies and just doing it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so glad that like Nicolas Cage is doing all these kind of oddball movies.
Yeah.
Because like Mandy was super good. I still haven't seen the what is it, Color in Outer Space or something like that, or Color Out of Space.
That one. Yeah,
it's on my list, but it looks good. It looks similar to Mandy, and like it's a Shudder original too. So, and he did is it Wally's Wonderland or Willy's Wonderland?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It's kind of a FNAF type thing, but it's not.
Okay.
He plays a janitor that doesn't say a single word in the movie, I don't think. And it's these killer animatronics. It has a comic book as well. It's super fun, super great. And he's just doing all these like little oddball movies, and it's like, oh, this is Nick, you're back. You're actually doing fun, weird stuff.
I love his camp. I love anytime he does something that's kind of camp or kind of weird. And it's like
it seems like his
exactly what we need.
And wasn't he one of those where like he got in like trouble with like tax stuff? Because I know wasn't he the one who for a long time he just did literally any crap movie, like and not like the like just like what we were talking about, where it's like indie, not talking about like indie or like low budget, like legitimately whatever the studios wanted him to do. Because like I was working at Hastings, and it was like every couple of months, it's like Nicolas Cage is Nick Smith in with man with gun standing next to that lady. Like it was just whatever. Like and now he's like escaped and is free and is just doing the weirdest stuff.
I'd actually read something about that. Part of the reason that he's having such money troubles isn't just because of crazy spending habits, which he does have.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a crypt in New Orleans. A pyramid crypt. But I think at a certain point he was taking care of his mom. I think she was in and out of hospitals.
Yeah.
And it was like she was bad off and he was taking care of her, so that was a lot. And he was like, no, she's getting the best care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Type thing. So yeah, I could be wrong on that fact, but I could have sworn that I read that somewhere.
Okay, you guys are going to have to help me remember one of his movies real quick.
Okay.
Him, his wife, something's happening in the air, kids come home, they try and slaughter them.
Oh, Mom and Dad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I loved that movie.
Selma Blair is the mom, I believe.
Yes.
I love that movie. That was another one of the oddball ones that had come out recent years.
And I know a lot of people said, oh my gosh, this was just a cash grab because of the names that they put in here. And I was like, I liked it.
I'd hate to tell you, but at that time that came out, Nicolas Cage was not a cash grab for movies. It was just what's he doing?
Yeah.
And Selma Blair, I wouldn't say is the top tier of names, or at least not at that time. Yeah. She has been in a lot of stuff, but I don't know if she was ever necessarily a box office draw, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But when people were like, oh yeah, they just had a contract, it's a flop, they were just, the people in here are just trying to cash grab. And I was like, this movie's great. This movie is great.
When you think about it, all movies are
show up. Because then when the grandparents show up, protect the grandkids and try to take out Nic Cage, I was like, this is the greatest.
Oh, that was a fun movie.
I love this movie. But I'm glad he looks like he's having fun in the movies that he's doing now. And I hope that makes him happy. So I feel like he is up there with, like, he deserves the happiness. At least I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that personally, aside from his, like, weird little quirks, I guess you could call him, I know he's been married multiple times.
Yeah.
I know he's got a kid on the way.
Oh. I know he has a kid named Kal-El.
Yeah, he is a huge nerd. That's also why he chose the name Nic Cage. Yeah. Because is it Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? One of those fighting games. Luke. Yeah. He's something. But and he's just a little weirdo. And I know that he has gotten drunk and disorderly quite a few times. Not too long ago, actually.
Oh, okay. I was like, but man, all of us.
He does live in Vegas, so it's kind of like
standard.
Places are Vegas and New Orleans.
Yeah, I think there's like a minimum of drunken disorderlies. Like you're supposed to get your quota in. Like every 2 years, you're supposed to get one.
He had to get all of his within 6 months because he was 10 years behind.
Oh, no.
Wow. And I'm certain that this is probably more common fact, but man, I think there's a documentary about it, but I still really wish that the Tim Burton movie where he was going to play Superman would have come out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's a documentary, but I think also at some point recently, like in the last few years, Kevin Smith had wanted to do a Superman movie where Nicolas Cage played Bizarro.
Oh my God, yes! Yes!
And WB was like, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was like rude. That's perfect.
It would have been amazing.
It would be the perfect Bizarro.
Would have been amazing.
It still could be. We should start a GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll just call it something else besides Superman.
Yeah, we can call it
the Super Duper Man, starring Bizarro.
Yes.
Bozoro.
And Steelman. Oh my gosh. We'll have Henry Cavill come back as Superman and Nic Cage as Bizarro.
Yeah.
Steelman. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Get on that. All right, guys. And on that note, we've got to go figure out how to set this up. So that way we can figure out the numbers of how much funding we need for this movie.
At least $2.
So at least $2 whole minimum. Maybe with a couple zeros attached to that. We'll find out, and we'll see you guys back here in a minute. Bye.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Go follow the experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
Welcome back. So, since we are on the topic of vampires and such, I saw that they are building on, I think it's AMC Plus or it's AMC, I can't remember exactly what it's called. They're building an Anne Rice universe. So they finished up the first season of Interview with the Vampire. The next thing they've announced, it's so good. The next thing they've announced is Mayfield Witches.
Oh,
should be starting. Yeah. And it's going to be in the same universe, and they're planning on doing a few other ones. And then at some point it's all going to like cross over and connect. So by the way, I love that style of vampires where they are like, they've grown with the times and evolved and realized, maybe I shouldn't just keep killing people to eat them, instead of draining them to death. I just have like this little snack right here. He's just a little snackaroony right here. And then I'm okay. But, that's just the Anne Rice vampires for you right there. And so I guess I have a question. What is your, favorite type of vampire to read about? Because there's all kinds out there. There's just all kinds of vampires out there. What about you, Bean?
I'm really torn. I really like vampires as monsters.
Yeah.
As monstrous, gross, climbing up the walls, claws, full on.
Strain?
Huh?
Like the Strain?
Yes. Yeah, just fully terrifying monsters. I think and I Am Legend, I know the book has vampires like that. And I think that the movie, right? I only saw the movie with Will Smith once.
Those are supposed to be the vampires, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so
I really like that style, but I also love What We Do in the Shadows. And I love the goofy, dysfunctional.
Oh man, everybody keeps talking about that. I really need to watch it. It's on my list.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm sorry. I watched there was a season finale where they had vampires from all over the universe. I think Wesley Snipes was there and Evan Rachel.
Paul Rubens was there.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that episode, but I don't know how I saw just that episode. I need to go watch it.
It's so good.
I've only seen the first season. I need to watch it.
Yeah, I need to catch up. I know that I've seen the first two at least completely. I don't even know what season they're on right now, but I know that I'm behind.
All right. Well, Alfie, what's your favorite type of vampire then?
I totally get liking the monster vampires. I think that they're cool. I think they're neat. But I grew up with I guess to put it nicely, beautiful vampires, like Interview with the Vampire.
Oh yeah.
And like the part that I hated the most about Lost Boys is when they actually looked monstrous, like, and it's like, oh, but you were cute before, even though you were pretty rude and mean. And I think that's also why I didn't get into Angel either.
Oh yeah.
Buffy the show when I was younger, because it's like, but these vampires are ugly. I want the hot ones from Interview. I mean, the beautiful ones, not hot.
They were.
Yeah.
Queen of the Damned.
Yeah. Which, despite the fact that I like that movie as a movie, it's unfortunate that they like that book needs to be a series in and of itself.
Yeah.
There's too much to it. Characters did not look like their characters.
No, they didn't.
Which actually, the person that played Armand actually did look like Armand, even though it was a bit character. Armand is actually blonde and pale, not Antonio Banderas. Or at least in the books. I mean, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but also in that movie, Armand was like, oh, he's there. See him? He's over there. Oh. Next to Pandora, who also was a bit character.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Neat. All right. Movie over.
I have read all of the Anne Rice books that pertain to that universe.
I'm not familiar with Anne Rice, like, hardly at all. Okay. I think I tried to read Interview with the Vampire once when I was, like, really young and just didn't get into it. It was...
Yeah.
Fair.
Fair. That's fair.
Queen of the Damned is the only book I read.
Oh, they all connect. They build a universe.
I know that they all connect. It's just I had tried to read Interview and I tried to read Lestat and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But Queen of the Damned caught me immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, and I mean, Jenna was saying that like they're about to do all of her books basically, and
that's
like
what it looks like.
Yeah. So you'll probably get to see Queen of the Damned as like a series.
I would hope
it's like its own season, standalone season. I'm so excited.
I just hope that it's not. I hope that it's not like, oh, we're only going to touch on Lestat's part of the story. We're not going to touch on anyone else.
Yeah.
It's like no. I want Baby Jinx in the story.
Yeah.
Baby Jinx. I want it. Oh. Two things. One, another thing about like I also like the goofy vampires. Like What We Do in the Shadows. And there's also one called Modern Vampires, which has Craig Ferguson, is that his name? He was in the Drew Carey show. He was the boss.
Craig Ferguson. That sounds familiar.
He had a talk show. Yeah. He's in it. And his wife was pregnant when she got bitten, so she's just forever pregnant.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But they seem really old, so that's nice.
Oh
I don't remember the plot of that movie, but I remember it not being serious. I think Natasha Lyonne might be in it.
Permanently pregnant?
Yeah. It is one of those movies that like I feel like I'll mention it and people are like, I have no idea of what you're talking about. But yeah, and then just a quick fun fact about Anne Rice. Like my mom is a huge Anne Rice fan. Mm-hmm. If I had been a boy, my name would have been Armand Lestat.
That's awesome.
She did want to name me Claudia, but I think that was actually the name of like one of my granddad's exes, and my grandmother shot that down very quickly. She was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Settled on Angelique from Dark Shadows.
That is perfect.
Nice.
Oh, that was something else we found out on another show on Mishmash, which is a 1-hour hangout show on Mondays. So Craig Ferguson and Peter Capaldi actually used to be in a band together.
Peter Capaldi. Is that one of the doctors?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm certain that I've seen him in other stuff, but I cannot think of a single thing. Which actually, I've never seen him as a doctor. I just know that he was.
Have you seen World War Z?
Oh, yeah.
He was the Bruley doctor at the WHO. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yes. I like Alfie. I like your
Yeah.
have you read the book World War Z?
Yes.
And then watched the movie and we're like
I did the opposite. Like I watched World War Z and I was like, this just isn't a good movie. I don't like it. And then I read the book and I was like, oh,
it's so good.
yeah, the book is astounding.
There's one movie that I think is like the most devastating zombie movie is Train to Busan.
Oh God, no!
I love Train to Busan.
I hate those zombies. No, did you see they're making a new one?
I don't want to watch it.
They've already made a second one.
No. This one is a true second one, is what they're calling it. They're saying the other one was kind of like a 2.5 or something. This one is an actual sequel.
Okay, not the American version they were talking about making, right?
No.
Okay.
No, it's the same director coming back as the first one. I think it is now time for our pick of the week. So this week it was Alfie's pick, and we read Seven Sons, which is a completed series. I think it was 7 issues, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, cool.
7.
Did everybody finish it?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Read all
7. Audience out there. Spoilers.
We can do like a spoiler free, and then at the very end do like a discussion. Maybe we can like do it in like 2 parts.
Yeah.
We'll do like a vague, and then be like warning spoiler.
Yeah.
And we can discuss the ending.
Okay.
Because
I like that.
Yeah, me and Jena already have different interpretations of it.
I don't even know what I feel about it.
Yeah. Okay, but first of all, just I guess it's a story about, I don't know, how would you guys describe this story?
I would have described it as it's kind of like an alternate timeline, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where there's just extreme version of what I would call televangelism.
Yeah.
It's an extreme version of that and Christianity. So like regular Christianity doesn't necessarily exist in the broad spectrum like it does currently.
Yeah.
Like the main religion is the Church of the Seven Sons. I think that's the whole name of the thing.
Yeah.
I think so.
And it's like 7 identical brothers. They were all born at a different time, or at the same time, but on different continents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like in two virgin mothers. Like
yeah.
And
so people are just like, oh man, this is it. These are like, these are the people we should follow, and it's wacky. It's just like
and then there's another religion that's just like, no.
Yeah.
Bro.
What is it? Is it the Watchers or the? I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll call them the Watchers.
Yeah. Which that is essentially. I think most people would see it as an extreme version of Islam.
Yeah. And
these are the two. Like it's not like actually Islam. It's like an extreme.
It's a small, isolated group.
Thing. Yeah, and they're like not down with this whole religion, and the reason why, which I'm not going to say right now because that is a spoiler.
Yeah.
The reason why, like once you get to that, it's like, oh, okay, I understand. This makes sense, and it's pretty crazy, and I really liked that. I'd seen some people talking about it online, and they said, like, with this type of subject matter, it's really easy to make everyone look like a caricature of something that actually exists.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily created a character that looks like Joel Osteen or Tammy Faye Baker, and been like, clearly, this is televangelism, and that's what this is. Clearly, obviously. But then it's like, oh no, like none of these characters feel like, oh, we're making fun of this necessarily. It's like, no, this is just an extreme alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I like that. They definitely like pulled on it, but I didn't even think about the fact that it didn't feel like I was reading a direct satire of anything.
Yeah.
it was its own story, which I think also shows like how it's a great story. Like this story is so compelling and so weird. It's really good.
I really liked how they kind of, so I guess it's slightly a spoiler, but not really. I think it is. They touched on the science of what is going on. Like, I'm trying to say it without spoiling it. I really liked that they did touch on that, and like they were like, hey, somebody did a thesis on this way back on the day. Yeah. Let's read it here. Like,
I think it kind of gave the option of like, hey, you can believe in a faith, but there also might be some science behind it.
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah.
And it's the like art was so good.
I love the art
by Jay Lee, and it's just like so unsettling, but just like I don't know, it's like he was like the perfect artist for is it he? I'm not sure of their pronouns. Anyway, it was a perfect artist for this book because like it's like so all like pointy and like kind of like everybody kind of looks like just not like a caricature, but like not normal.
Yeah, they kind of like how a human looks, but just like slightly adjacent.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like some of the characters looked more normal.
Yeah.
And then you had like the identical twins, and I felt like there were a couple moments where some other people would start to look slightly different. And it's like when they were kind of like, maybe something is different. Maybe something is off.
All right. Do we want to transfer into Spoilerville? Okay. The official wall. We're in Spoilerville.
Spoiler alert. Spoiled.
Okay.
That ending.
I don't know what to think about it.
Was the whole thing an experiment?
Or is this... I don't know.
It felt like they ran in, like, okay, so he is the second coming of Jesus Christ. He walks on water, he stops all this stuff, and you think everything's finally going to have peace and serenity and equality and all of this, and then all of a sudden that voice is kill them all. And I was like, who? What? Okay, so are you the Antichrist? Is that really what this was all about? And then like they go with this TV and all of them are there, and then Father
but it's not
was
even
there.
all of them, it's more of them.
Yes.
Which I'm like, okay, so did he like do more experiments, or
he had to have?
Is this
he just picked 7?
Or is this before, or what?
Did he have a whole bunch of clones before he showed the world and ran his simulation?
You know what, though? It would almost make sense that there were more, because, like, what's the likelihood that 7 of those women that he impregnated, I guess, what's the likelihood that only 7 got pregnant and it was perfect timing?
And also, what was the likelihood of them coming, like, full term?
Yeah, because I mean, pregnancy is just, it's gambling. It's like, you don't know.
Especially in some countries where you're not getting things like good, clean drinking water, or, you know,
or you have to, like, you don't get maternity leave. You don't get to chill out for a month or 2 or something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a doctor that's like, no, you need to be on bed rest.
Yeah, no.
Take a nap.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It was like, prenatal vitamins. Nah.
So I don't know. I feel like I have kind of an out there theory about like the end. So I read it, and my thought when I got to the end, which like for people who just like aren't ever going to read it and haven't read it but are still listening at this point.
Yeah.
So like only one of the 7 sons who is still alive like becomes revealed, and then he's like, oh my god, like they're like kill everyone. And my like theory on it is that he is the Antichrist, And when they go to that room, that's hell, and that was the devil, and like all of the like minion. This is my weird like theory, was that it was actually like a weird like spiritual realm where they're just like, yes, let the what is they call it? Like, let revelations begin. That was my weird like theory, was like, it wasn't like a literal like, oh, they're still alive. It's like a weird spiritual thing that's happened.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, that's also possible. I'm not super familiar with Revelations or anything. I didn't really grow up religious or anything, and I don't know, it's not been a topic that I've done a whole lot of research into, but doesn't Revelations end badly?
Oh, very. Well, no, actually, guys, as somebody who did do that, I did do the studying of that. Revelations is 95% just terror on earth, but then those last couple of chapters or books in there talk about God wiping out all of that because it's 7 years of badness. And then God's like, know what? Go take a nap in the fire flames. We're going to chill in heaven for all eternity. And literally is, may the blessings of God's be upon you. Amen. And that is how the Bible ends, ladies and gentlemen. Spoilers on 2 books.
This is Spoilerville, so it's fine. We spoiled the Bible.
Yeah.
This isn't about the ending necessarily, but I did want to touch on the covers.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked when you see all of them together. Like at the very beginning, it's a baby, and it's like the birth, the second coming, or whatever. And then the last one is zombie Jesus, and it's like the resurrection. I just love that was
yeah. And then the other thing I did have a little bit of problem with was, of the 7, only 3 of them made it to adulthood, because as babies and children's, they was getting killed.
Yeah.
You don't kill the babies like that. Like, they're already taken in. It's an actual baby. Like, here's a baby.
But that would be the easiest way to take them out. When they're not adults.
I guess that comes back to the conundrum. If we go back in time, would you kill Hitler as a baby?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but also, quite frankly, that probably wouldn't be my first priority. It's like, oh man, I'm going to go back in time and pay $20 for a whole basket of groceries. Heck yeah.
Go back in time.
I'm going to go fill up a gas can? Oh.
50 cents.
I think this is a really interesting series to read, like, with different religious backgrounds, because I grew up in very like fundamentalist like Christianity, and like for me, like, not like saying like that was, it's bad to say, but like there's a lot of like talk of like false prophets.
Yeah.
False prophets should be taken out. Like, that's like kind of a thing that is discussed. And so I guess that wasn't like, that just kind of like, obviously it's not right, but it didn't shock me as much. Like, yeah, like if somebody comes out and is like, yeah, this is the second coming of Christ, and people are like, no, it's not, like, extremists are going to come take them out. Like, that's, you know, it was interesting getting to read about that. So,
and then the way I grew up in a completely different religion, and then through my teen years and growing up in like science and math, it just like, it was kind of hard. So I don't know how it was for you, Bean, but like based off of like the type of religion I grew up with, partly Jewish, partly Catholic, this was probably the top 3 most sacrilegious thing I've ever read. And I enjoyed it. And then getting to see that it was technically science with cloning and stuff like that, it was just like, we're going for the full Monty. Yeah. Let's do it. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think any of my religious background had anything to do with my enjoyment or interpretation. because like my family is Southern Baptist. We don't really practice, and I definitely wasn't told like, hey, you have to go to church. You got to learn all this stuff. And then I kind of experimented with paganism a little bit, and then people I'm closest to are pagan. So it's like, this was just like, oh, this seems cool. I'm certain this represents something.
Are we ready for my pick of the week for next week?
Are we in assimilation now?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. That's my big question with the simulation thing. Does it matter?
No,
Does it matter? That's also how I keep myself sane. I can't think about it too much. Okay.
And then I am ready for your book.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick. We're not getting really happier, to be honest.
Oh yes,
yes, I love this book.
A lot of people
read this.
Yeah, may have seen
good.
The movie adaptation with Keanu Reeves. It's a little bit different. I think they renamed it The Lake House. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is The Nice House on the Lake. It is about the end of the world. Or is it? It's just one of those. It's like, what's happening? What's happening? It's great. It's spooky. It's weird. And we're going to talk about it probably the same way next week, where we're like, let's do a description and then let's do Spoilerville. Maybe we can do that, because then we can discuss things that maybe get revealed that we don't want to reveal to everybody who hasn't read it. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm excited. I have read the first issue, but I've been wanting to like actually sit down and be like, okay, I need to read all of this. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know how far behind I am. I know I am because all I have is volume 1, so I might have to.
Issue 11 or 12 just came out.
I think it was 11 or 12. I think Alfie's right.
Yeah, and I believe I have most of the issues. I gotta research. So
I'm super excited. I love this series.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about, and I'm really excited to ask like, what would we do in that situation? It's going to be a fun one.
I'm already going to say I probably wouldn't be invited to the house.
I would be sitting in a corner, eating my snacks, making a small fire.
Just in the corner.
I don't know what the situation is, but there we go.
Yeah.
Continuing my villain arc into comic situations.
Your arson arc.
Oh, my arson arc. Okay, my arson arc. Yeah. Got it.
And I believe with that, it's time to say goodbye. Mm-hmm. Not forever, just until next week. This has been our episode about sharks, vampires, and craziness.
And religion.
Yeah. That's what I said, craziness. But, yeah, so excited to talk about the lake next week. And I've been Alfie. That's Bean.
Yeah.
That's Jena. And together, this has been Space Cadets. Goodbye.
Bye.